Howdy ho and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today's band is a real veteran from United Kingdom, also a pioneer band of sorts. Being a master of not only one genre but more than that, this is a real veteran that basically needs no introduction. Being more than 35 years in business, let's welcome Napalm Death. Now, I had to remove the covers in order to actually get the CDs out and review the stuff, but I tried to do it as nicely as possible to show you how it looks on the store. So what it says here is that rarities and with exclusive earworm spanning 2004-2016 from the whirling gene pool of noise that is Napalm Death 2 CD edition, with a comprehensive booklet of 36 pages and total of 31 songs in playing time over 90 minutes. Oh my goodness. So let's remove the plastic wrappings. There's also this kind of extra paper, to have this track list, which is weird, by the way. It doesn't have it anymore here. Let's remove the advertising contents and take a look on this double CD. Okay, so here's CD number 2 with 16 tracks from this millennium, and the first 15 tracks are here, obviously. So, like I said, coded smears and more uncommon slurs. So it looks like a badass release, and as you can see, cut off fingers and head with a hole. Ouch, that is something that is supposed to hurt. No kidding. Let's remove this booklet also and take a look what this is all about. As it was said, pretty thick booklet, so I'm gonna just skip this one. There's why, but why? So kind of a largely being a compilation kind of explanation here. What is this all about? Then it's obviously lyrics. I'm just gonna skip most of the stuff here because it would take too much time to actually show them all. Then we have a nice meal here, glasses with drinks and not so tempting food. Then we get more lyrics, and this is great, by the way. Not all compilations, as you probably know, have lyrics included, so it's like for the actual album releases just only. So then there is kind of a thank you page with recording information and all that stuff. So basically everything is here put in together, so you can just figure it out what this album is. Very nice compilation in so many ways, and I guess you can see old logo still there after this so many years. So this is yet another compilation from a band that has been releasing not only lots of albums, lots of EPs and singles and whatnot, and also boxed sets and too much stuff to list here. Basically dozens and dozens of releases that only a hardcore collector would be able and willing to buy. But nevertheless, Napalm Death has been a quality band from the very beginning, even though I'm not a big fan of their just, early works, Scum and all that stuff. But they are surely to be one of the pioneers that, created whole grindcore, or at least was part of the whole creation process of this given genre. Well, since that, Napalm Death has evolved, changed, progressed, regressed, and taken steps back and forth and, sideways. There are weird albums like Diatribes, and then again there's albums like Harmony Corruption, which is more death metal and all that stuff. I hope I don't need to, go through the whole discography here, because it's not the point. This is about this particular compilation album. But what I'm trying to say here, that this is a very interesting band, both live and album-wise. And it's one of those albums that does it unapologetic style, just without compromises. They have their ideologies, they have their political views, and they are not ashamed, to talk about that, sing about those topics that are very important, and being, vegetarianism, or being like a left-winger, or, workmanship and all that stuff. Very interesting bands in so many ways, and then again also a band that manages to piss people off because they have very strong opinions and they are not, backing down to kind of say sorry about that. And why should they be? Because Napalm Death is great because, they are doing what they are doing in the way they want to want to do. So what is this Coded Smears and all that all about then, except being 2000 something kind of a compilation of Napalm music? Well, like I said, this one is with lyrics and all that stuff. So this is like something that could serve both those people who are new to the band and check out what is the fuss about this band, because I don't have a single album here. And but it also works as a compilation for those who are not keen to buy every single and weird rarity releases, but still want to get something else than just full-length albums. Now, usually I'm not a big fan of compilations. First of all, they are just recycling older material which is just available on albums. Like best of albums are so many times, not always, but so many times they are just, in my opinion, useless. Because I mean, like if you want to just, get the best of stuff, you can just easily go on Spotify or whatever and, listen to those tracks. You don't need an album for that, unless you're real old school and you just need to have compilations aside already having those actual releases. But with these kind of compilations where it's all about rarities and tracks that are not so easily available, and let me tell you, there are bands that would actually need that. Paradise Lost, by the way, have one, but it's an official release, which kind of annoys me. So this is kind of like a fan service in so many ways. Good songs piled up, over 90 minutes of music to listen to, with all the lyrics and stuff. Only thing is basically is missing are band pictures, but then I don't know what purpose that would serve with this kind of compilation, because like I said, it's compilation and everybody can pretty much Google up the band pictures. It would be kind of like waste of time and pages, to actually have them, because like almost 40 pages booklet filled with lyrics and all that stuff. It's great service in my opinion when you're having a compilation. Now music wise, all these 31 tracks, they are pretty good. There are some, not so good tracks here and there, but they are kind of like minority. I mean, most of the album here, most of the stuff on this double album is just really good in my opinion. It's probably not the best Napalm Death. In my opinion, those best moments are in different albums, and it would kind of require kind of a best of compilation to do that. So with this kind of rarity thing, it's not obviously possible. But then again, these are just a matter of taste. But in my opinion, most of the tracks here, which then again represent modern Napalm Death, like 2000 something, 2004 and 2016, the time span here, I think most of the stuff here is actually good. So I mean, like, be it production, be it vocal wise, be it just the riffs and compositions and all that stuff, from grindcore to death metal and back and some kind of oddities which are not the typical Napalm Death. It's basically everything here. And meanwhile, there are those tracks that are not that maybe good in this kind of compilation. They don't mind. I don't mind having them there, because I mean, like I said, they are like just spices. They are there to be these rarities, not maybe the earworms type of tracks, but the kind of tracks that you are nice to have in your collection. Because I mean, if you're not a collector but you just want to have two good albums and maybe then add some compilation to that, this is kind of like a prime example how it should be done. So in my opinion, if you're an Napalm Death fan but not a kind of collector fan, so you want to have something else than just those albums, this is something that you should definitely go to, or at least check out the track list and figure out if you need or want these tracks to be part of your compilation. And for newcomers, I don't know if this best possible way to get to listen to Napalm Death, but at least it's a good way to do that, because like I said, this is not some cheap ass copy paste thingy which is just rip off the money and all that stuff. It's nicely packaged, 2 CD compilation. And what can I say? Nice production. Barney is still strong with his vocals, and it seems like the age is not, slowing these guys down. I mean, come on, they have been here for almost like 40 years, and even though there has been lineup changes and whatnot, this band is still very active and kind of like this is kind of like proof that the age is sometimes just a number. These guys are still very good on on stage, being live, and yet good on doing the music on records. So for Napalm Death fans or those that are just new to the band, this is something that you should consider buying. I think this is a good deal, so go check out the tracks, and if you like it, well, it's a good addition to your compilation or collection. So, thank you for watching this review, and once again, should you have any comments or opinions or questions about this review or the band or whatnot, leave your comments on the box below and I'll get back to you. See you soon in another review. Rauta out.